my friend Tracy, I took a nap for like 30 minutes. And then my friend Tracy was in town, or is. So she came in and we said hi, and I got to meet her new boyfriend. He's Slade. I really like him. But now I just finished editing this video. Not this video that you're watching, but a different one. But let's talk about business stuff. I want to put out content that's educational and that's helping people. One, like, I'm in the mindset of like, okay, I need to, but I'm in the mindset of like, I want to work as hard as I can right now, and like, I know it's going to take a long time, and it's consistency in doing things like that. I don't really know what's stopping me right now. I think it's like I'm doing well, like I'm doing pretty steady with it. And so I'm like, okay, just keep doing what I'm doing, but like I'm not going to grow if I just keep doing that. So right now I'm trying to post more, which is like, that's the scary thing. Like, I need to post more videos of me talking, because that's where like I really put like, value things, you know, like, and just start posting like videos on Instagram more and on TikTok. But I don't know why it's like, doesn't matter that it's hard. I need to just start doing it. But yeah, let's talk about wedding dresses yesterday. I had so much fun. My favorites, I guess I won't show them because Hunter could see this. Yeah, I have my favorites, and then I have like, I loved so many of them. Like, I really, there wasn't one that I didn't like, to be honest. Like, I love, like, narrowing it down is really difficult, for sure. But it was fun, and like, I'm glad, like, I felt really good while we were doing it. Good morning. Hello. It's Monday, September 15th. I'm about to go to Run Club. I really don't want to go. My legs are still sore. I just don't want to. So I went downstairs to get my car fixed, and I guess there is no parking spots besides the reserved ones. And so someone had to park, like, hi. Someone had to park right in front of my car. Like, so like I'm in a parking garage, and so I'm against the wall, and someone had to park in front of it. So I can't go. But, you know, I think that's okay, because I think I need to rest, and now I get to walk Dudley. So hopefully it's moved by the time I have to go to work. If not, I'll just take a Waymo, I guess. I don't know. Or an Uber, whatever. Gonna walk. Walked, got Starbucks. I put some half and half. I have milk all the time. And I put some half and half in my coffee, and I feel like I'm about to blow up. So, that's awesome. I was supposed to run today, but I just have, the last couple nights I haven't been sleeping well, which is not like me right now, because since I moved to Austin, I've been getting the best sleep of my life. But for some reason, I think I'm overtraining a little, perhaps, so definitely trying to like a little. So taking a rest day might do some arms, like, you know, arms really aren't, legs are a workout, but when I'm doing, and like that means that I can be going a lot hard. Like if I consider arms like a chill day, like that's a problem. So that's what we're gonna work on. But yeah, today, just went on my walk. I'm just gonna focus on getting my steps, get my 20,000 steps, and live, laugh, love. Good morning. Well, it's not, is it even morning? Oh, it's 11. Okay, kind of morning. I've had a busy morning. I coached, well, I guess it hasn't been that busy. Coached, then went to the gym. I am going to go walk. I have a couple calls, one at 12. While I'm down there, I want to go get more stickers printed. I think I'm figuring it out. Slowly but surely. But, yeah, happy Wednesday. 8.3. Oh my god, I look like a mess. No, I do. I'm like icky this week. I am. I'm very icky this week. That's okay. Well, I wish you were off like one day during the week so we can hang out.
Yeah, don't worry like that.
Or I wish like you once worked from home or something.
Yeah, I would. That'd be nice.
how people would study in college, like we do work together. And you know what I was thinking would be fun? So that you don't have to be in my videos, you just record.
Okay.
You know? And then I can like, it's easier for me because I'm like talking to you. You know?
I don't think it'll be easier for you, to be honest.
No, I think it is. Here, we'll practice. Because I'm talking to you. Really. But anyways, how was your day? You want to ask me questions?
So I gotta hold this up like this?
You should probably ask me questions.
What did you do today?
What did I do? Oh, I went to go coach.
Yeah.
I went to go coach at 6. I got there at 5:30. There was a guy outside of the studio with a homeless man with a big firecracker thing that he like lit up, and it was like purple and red.
I probably left.
No, it was during the second class. It was during, it was at like 7. And me and one lady on the tread were both like looking at each other, like, oh, okay, like I guess, like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, I was kind of scared it was gonna blow up, like, but it didn't. And then, what was after that? Walked home, stopped at Royal Blue and got some eggs. Had some steak and eggs this morning, hadn't had that in a while.
Yeah, you took my last steak.
Right.
I ate that for dinner, that's why I took your ground beef.
And then I got home. I think I just like got ready for the gym, I'm pretty sure. I think I did some work and then I went to the gym. Met my idol, which was actually like crazy. Like I saw him and I was like, no, that's not him. Like I was like, no way. And I like, got nervous too. I almost like didn't go up and say hi to him, but I was like, no, I was like, I'm gonna be so mad at myself if I don't. He was so nice. By mistake. Oh my god. Why do I look like that? Dude, I need to do something about me. Okay, so I'm running 3.5 miles right now. Woo! Which I don't think, usually I like really don't want to go run. But right now I'm okay. It doesn't feel too awful right now. But I'm making a video today about endurance. It's too early. Time to eat. We're back from our walk. I'm gonna go on my run after work. Running during the day for some reason, it's just a lot more enjoyable for some reason. I'm not sure why necessarily, but just in the mornings, it's just not my vibe. And if I don't have to run in the mornings, I'm not going to run in the mornings at this moment in my life. But I might have some rice cake with some honey or some yogurt. Not that hungry, so I'll do some rice cake with some honey, but I'm bringing my planner with me, my laptop. I'm running whenever I get home. My plan for the rest of the day, I have a call at 2. I'm moving the call at 2:30. I'm gonna run. Well, do I have time actually in between? I probably do. Let's look at this thing. I never remember, oh, I was about to say I never remember where I parked and it's right here. 2 to 2:30, 3. Okay, I might be able to do that. It's only 9, that's crazy. I feel like I've done so much already. But yeah, I'm just, God, it's hot in here. Going at a point where I just really want to pour into just my own business and like content creation and coaching on my own instead of coaching it somewhere else. And so that's where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to make this happen as soon as possible. And it's hard. It's getting hard. We're getting to the point where it's hard, but that makes it more exciting. That makes it so much more exciting. Okay, I'm getting ready for the Connor Wood show. Cam is gonna get, it starts at 7. Well, the opener goes on at 7. Cam doesn't get here till 7:15, but I'm hopeful that she's gonna make it. So it's gonna be fun. But I'm very excited. I'm trying to get good at my makeup so I can do my makeup for my wedding, because I always like, whenever, I just want to feel like myself, and whenever I get my makeup done by someone else, and I know that we do the trials, but like, I just don't, I want it to look like me, and like, I want to be used to seeing myself like that, because like, I don't want to like, that be the day I feel the prettiest in my life, and then I never feel that way again. But let's say I do end up getting my makeup done, then I'm just really good at makeup. And so I'm practicing. I've been learning. Been using ChatGPT and YouTube. Really, when I do my makeup, my sister says that my face looks like it's all one color, and so that's what I'm trying to avoid, because I think I just blend to the point where it just is all either brown, orange, or the color of my foundation. So I'm really trying to avoid that as I practice here.
70 tonight, so that's not gonna be bad. But then I'm thinking,
There she is.
Concept is, it's a concept.
Good morning. It's Friday morning. I'm headed to College Station for the weekend. Cam just left. We went and got coffee at Desnudo, which, if you're from Austin, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no way that, it's actually really underground. But I need to get ready, and I'm trying to clean up because Hunter has been gone all night, obviously, for work. I talked about it. And so he's going hunting and I'm going to College Station. And so the house is kind of a mess because there just is. For me, this is a mess. And so I'm trying to like clean up as much as I can before I leave, so then he can do some stuff before he leaves, and then we're good. But it is stressing me out just a bit. But it really doesn't. I've been watching a lot of Nick Bare lately, and I really, really love him and the things that he talks about. Okay, I'm about to head out. I just texted my friend Connor to see if he would do an Ironman with me in spring of 2027, so we'll see how that goes. That's the thing, I need to just sign up for it, but there's no dates out yet for like that time period. So I do need to wait for that to happen.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm so glad you had the same experience because I don't have to explain it to you.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the Daily Drills pop-up. I just went on a run this morning. I was thinking about getting up and going earlier and like getting in line early, but I wanted to go on my run. So it's 9:30, it opens at 10. I know I'm gonna be waiting in line for hours. I really don't care. I'm gonna bring my laptop and like work, but I'm gonna finish getting ready and then we're gonna go. Okay, we are gonna do my makeup and my hair. Well, I already did my hair, but it's still wet, kind of. It is still wet. But I just put a Maddie patch on because I've had some gnarly pimples that keep popping up lately. But now I'm using Tatcha, if I can just focus, Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. There's absolutely nothing in the world like this. I got this in an Ipsy bag in like 2020 one time, of the tiny little baby version, and I fell in love with it, so I made it last. I think I had it for at least a year. It was like, and I'm not kidding, it was this big. And then for my birthday this year, Hunter and I went to Sephora. Well, we went shopping, and we walked to Sephora and they had it, and I was gonna get 3 things or something like that. And I was choosing between that and something else. And I was talking about it, and I was like, do I get, like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, which one? Like, I was having an existential crisis trying to figure out what to get from Sephora, of course. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I get this thing, like this, whatever else it was? And then I was walking around and I was like, oh my gosh, but this, and I like started telling him about the cream, and he just grabs it, and I was like, wait, no, I haven't decided. He goes, you started bringing up memories from this. This is what you're getting. And I was like, okay, that's such a good point. So anyways, that's how we're here today. Now for makeup, I'm learning how to do my makeup for my wedding a little bit. I'm not sure how true that is yet, but I would like to. It would be fun. I think it's a fun project. I think it's a fun thing that I could do. I did see Lauren Lovelace get her makeup, because my whole thing too is like, I want to look like myself on my wedding. Like, so many people that I know get their makeup done on their wedding, and like, it just doesn't look like them, you know? And like, that's great for some people. I just know that when I get my makeup done and I don't look like myself, I hate it, and then I'm not gonna feel awesome on my wedding day, and that's obviously not the goal. So I said I was gonna practice doing my makeup and learn, and I've really just been watching YouTube videos and actually using ChatGPT to help me learn. And I have gotten better. I'm not saying that I'm really good at it and that it looks perfect and it's 100% it, but I have gotten better. And so right now I'm out of concealer, so I've been using foundation instead, but really it's just the same stuff anyways. But right now I just am putting it on my face with the little brush, and then now I'm going in. Just got this foundation brush from Amazon. I'm obsessed with it. One of the biggest things I've learned in doing this is taking tiny brushes and blending the edges before anything else, and then blending in the middle. And actually, I think that's the thing that's like helped me the most, like make the most progress in doing this. I like, see, the lighting on this thing is better than, I just always end up making a mess when I go out there. I'm like kind of in a rush, but I'm also not, because I'm not like, really, I just want to go, maybe I'll get a hat. Like, if I get there and they're out of everything, I'm really gonna be okay. I just kind of want to go for the vibes. I hope I can like make friends, is also one of the goals here. That would be really awesome if I can make some friends. So this is me doing things alone. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Does that work? Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. Now we keep blending. See, I really do think I've gotten better. Oh, what in the world? Oh, it's from the flowers. Okay, I'll change after. Dang it. There's some lilies right here that I guess I leaned over them. They did this the other day with the curtains too, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but now I know what it is. Anyways, I'm not super concerned about making it to get everything that's in stock. I was thinking of getting like maybe a sweatshirt if I was really like obsessed with it, which, you know, will probably happen. Shirts, and I have all my stuff. I'm bringing my laptop with me in case I want to do work while I'm there, but I hope I make friends. I need to make friends, which is why I'm going. So Let's go. Okay, I didn't end up going to the Daily Drills pop-up because the line was so long, and halfway while I was gonna get in line no matter what, but my friend called me when I was on my way there and asked if I wanted to go on a boat today. And so of course I had to say yes. And he was like, hey, do you have it? Like, we have 2 spots left, and he was inviting me and Hunter, but Hunter's in College Station for the football game. And so I was like, no, like Hunter can't come, but I'll go. And he's like, okay, well if you have any friends, like bring someone, like we have a spot left besides that. And I was like, crap, like I texted 2 people that I know, and so, but neither of them can go, so I'm just going with him. But being here is just insane. Like, I swear my life entered a different timeline when I moved here. It's crazy. Now I walked into the JW hotel, got a Starbucks, and now I'm gonna do some work, and then I need to be home. I'm gonna leave here at noon, so I just have to do a little bit of stuff, but yeah. For online coaching, this is what I'm doing today. I have some meal plans to make for some people for the upcoming week. I have I have my whole list. I'm setting up, I have someone starting on Monday, so I have to set up her program. And oh my
First
god.
alligator found in Lake Travis.
Holy. Chains. Nothing.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, September 30th. October's tomorrow, which is kind of cuckoo. But this morning I woke up, went on my walk. I tried a new coffee shop called Coffee Bar, and it was like inside a Hyatt, and I was like in like walk clothes, like workout clothes. And I walked in, and there's like, probably no joke, like it's a small coffee shop, like, and there's probably like 20 people in there, everyone in like it's like everyone in button-ups and t-shirt or shirts, and whatever girls are in there are in like dresses or dress pants, and I'm dressed like this, and I was like, oh, hey, sorry guys. And I had Dudley with me too, but I wanted to try a new coffee shop, and I ended up talking to some guy. Asked me, his name was Steven, he's from Colorado, but he works in Houston. He was there for a conference, and he asked me about my tattoo because my mountain's on my side, and his daughter actually he said that she had one really similar. Hers is of the mountains that's in their yard, you know, which he showed me a picture and it was insane. Yeah, we talked for a little bit. He asked me where my mountains were, which mine are the mountains in Ellensville, New York, which is where my dad he would take us camping whenever he would go hang gliding. And then I went to go lift and then I sprained my ankle this weekend. I just ate shit walking down the stairs. And so I had to like I didn't do any exercises where I was like putting any kind of weight on my like ankle. It's just a little challenge on figuring out what to do, but it wasn't bad. So I did like half upper body, half lower body, and I just did like leg extensions, whatever I could that didn't put pressure on my ankle. And then, oh yeah, now I'm home. I have a couple calls I have one at 1:30 and then one at 2. And so me and Dudley are outside. Hi, Bubba. But I am trying my biggest something that I'm convicted about is quitting my job. And that job being working at Orange Theory, which I'm making just about almost the same amount as what I'm making coaching. And so like obviously that's double. And I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not doing it out of like loving it anymore. It's kind of hard. And I don't like doing things where like my heart's not fully in it, but I know that like we're trying to save for a wedding, and like we just like, I would like to not have to worry about money. And if I quit, it will be a stressor on both me and Hunter, and like I don't want that to be a thing. But then it'll light a fire under my ass to get my coaching business really, really going. So that's kind of something I'm dealing with right now and just trying to figure out. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really enjoying coaching online, getting to talk to people and be part of their story in this way, and just getting to guide people in this way. And like the conversations that I have with people are so, like, I'm learning with them just as much as they are. So I'm just really thankful for this. But yeah, Austin's going pretty good. It's been about 2 months now. On the 4th of October, it'll be 2 months. And it's been a slow process of like meeting people, but I am so grateful for the people that I have met and for the way that that's happened. And like I literally sometimes, like, there's one person that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I owe that person everything, because they're the reason I'm like meeting all these people. And I've only hung out with them like once, really, so it feels weird talking about it, but like I don't know, I'm really just excited to get to know them better. And so yeah, it's really quiet on the trail right now. There's like no one out, which is not normal for this time of the day. Usually, like, yeah, people are at work right now, but like usually there's more than this. I haven't seen anyone walk by since I've sat down here. But yeah, just right now I'm like I have been doing really well since like May mentally, like in my mental headspace, which I was like, I would say that's the longest that I was that good for in a long time. And I've had a couple, like the last couple weeks, I've just been in my head a little bit more and kind of slowing down a little bit, and that starts to stress me out because like losing momentum is what's scary to me. And I kept talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, like everything's been going so well and all these things keep happening. And I was like ready for like the hit. And yesterday was what kind of felt what I thought was going to be that hit, because like things were just not, or like this past weekend, like Friday felt weird. Like I just haven't been on the same like wavelength that I was on. But that's okay, because I need to go to a different wavelength. Like and this is the first time I'm realizing this, like I keep thinking like, oh, I want to stay in that headspace that I was in. I want to stay in that. But like, if I do, then I'm not going to grow. So that's where we're at. Dang. Okay. I really needed to talk that out because I didn't really even think about that. But yeah, today's been good. I'm just really trying to figure out like, not just growing my business, but making it durable, and how I can make this my full-time job, because like going and coaching at Orange Theory right now feels like a chore. And I don't want to feel like that about something I'm doing, and I just am worried about money. Like that's the thing, is like if I quit, like I want to have the safety net to fall back on of money, obviously. Like we're saving for a wedding, we're trying to do this, and I told myself once I was making the same amount that I would quit. But I don't know how long that's going to be. My goal would be like now, obviously. But I would like for that to happen by New Year's. Is the goal, is for me to be making monthly the same amount that I would be making if I was full-time there. And I feel kind of stuck right now. I do feel kind of stuck. And it's figuring that out. But yeah, I have a call right now. I have people that are freaking killing it. Like, I am so proud of the way that this is happening. And the way that these people are, like, pouring into themselves. Truly pouring into themselves. And I get to be a part of it, which is really insane for me. And just, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for it. So, yeah. And I got to where I'm at, it's interesting because like for so long I was used to being around people that already knew Ella's story, that I didn't really have to talk about it too much. They knew pieces of it, and now I am having the opportunity to retell it in a bigger way. Not even a bigger way, just to new people, and trying to figure out like I have my spiel, you know, I have my super like within like my 60-second, 2-minute maybe spiel about Ella, which is I got pregnant as a sophomore in as a sophomore in college. Hunter and I had known each other for 2 months when I got pregnant, and the first few months were really, really hard, and like genuinely the darkest point of my life. And I thought I was getting an abortion. I found God in the bathroom of a Planned Parenthood. I had the opportunity to leave. I prayed to God. I asked him to give me. I said, if you don't want me to do this, get me out of here, because I can't do it myself. Like I can't walk out. And he did. And I'll talk about more in depth. But then we decided we were doing an open adoption, and the Lord really placed really, really good opportunities for that. It was very out of our hands from then on. Whenever I was 25 weeks pregnant, we went to our ultrasound. We had looking at parents. We had talked to one adoption agency, and that hadn't gone too well. So we decided to go start meeting with someone else. We started meeting with someone else. We were going to look at parents. I think it was like the first weekend of July. We were going to start looking at parents, and we went to the ultrasound on July or June, like June 21st or something. We went to an ultrasound. We did it, whatever. I had like been struggling a little bit with like whether or not, like I knew we were going to do the adoption at the time. I was like, yeah, like there's no doubt about it. But obviously like there was some conviction inside of me. And then she was born. They noticed that she was really little, and it was because my blood pressure was high, and I went into HELLP syndrome, which if you know what it is, I'm not going to get into it. You can look it up. Really bad. They had to take her out of me so that me and her wouldn't get, I was very critical. So the sooner they could get her out, the better, but it was also the longer they leave her in, the safer she is. So she was born on June 27th. She was a pound when she was born. And from there, it was for the first couple months, she was in the NICU in Temple, which was an hour and a half from where we were. And it was figuring out like, okay, how are we doing this? Okay, now I have a call. Hold on. Where did I leave off? Oh, she was born, so she was born pound. She was born at a pound, 4 ounces, lost the 4 ounces, so then the day after she was born, she was a pound. She was literally the size of a pen. Then, what's next? Then now Hunter and I are in the process. We're like, okay, we're supposed to be looking at parents. We're supposed to be choosing parents. I'm starting to, like, second guess that. And when we left the hospital, I actually, like, told her, I was like, I'm taking you home. And at the time, I didn't even know if I was, like, if I meant it. Like, when I said it, I was like, but I said it. And I said it to her, and I said, I'm taking you home. And the next 2 months were kind of spent, Hunter and I having conversations and doing numbers and trying to figure out how can we make this work. And we decided that we were going to make it work. And her nurse, Laura, I don't know if I should say her name, but her nurse, Laura, was a big part of that. She sat down with me, and I honestly told her what I wanted to do before I told Hunter, because she had adopted, I think 3 kids, maybe 4. 3? And she was just a big part of that. And I also had met with, there's a lot of different people, but I had met with a different family and girl who they had been through an open adoption. And that was a big part of it. We went to dinner with the family and got to see what that was kind of like. Then we decided, like, all right, we're going to figure this out. We're going to do it. And at that point, she was supposed to be coming home in September, end of September, and she was really on track. Like, we were, at one point, we were like 2 weeks from taking her home. We were getting ready. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do, looking at places to live. Like, I, at the time, was living with girls in my sorority. Hunter was living with a roommate, and we were like, okay, we need to figure out what we're going to do. I was subleasing my room. I was still in my sorority. I had just gotten my little, and we were somehow being college kids and at the same time driving an hour and a half to the NICU every day to see our daughter and figure out her health needs. She started kind of crashing pretty consistently from like September. She would crash and then she started to do really good, and we're like, okay, we're taking her home. And there was a point where they were like, oh, she's gonna need a trach, and then, oh, never mind, we think she's good. Then she crashed again, mid to end of October, and then it was, okay, no, she does need her trach. She does need a trach. She got her trach beginning of November, actually the day before Hunter's 21st birthday, and then began learning how to take care of a trach on a baby girl. And that was big. I mean, we were learning how to take care of a trach. Like, and that's the thing that goes in your neck right here. And she wasn't going to have it forever. There are plenty of babies just like her that are doing great today. And one of her nurses actually was just like her. And from there, she would do really well. And then she would drop. And she would do really well. And then she would drop. And that was around, like, Christmas. And we would be like, okay, we're taking her home in 2 weeks. And then, oh, never mind. Like, she dropped. And we spent Christmas in the NICU. Spent Thanksgiving in the NICU. My Christmas break from school, I stayed at the Ronald McDonald House across the street from the hospital, and so I got to really just stay there with her for the majority of the time. Like, I just was sleeping there, and I'd go see her and her nurses, her family. I spent every single waking moment there, and this is just like the short version of this, but New Year's, she really crashed, and we have videos of me and Hunter. We slept in the hospital, actually, because she was doing so bad that they were letting us sleep there. And that's when we thought it was over. We thought it was over on New Year's, and it wasn't. And she came back out of it because she's such a freaking fighter, and she's so strong. And she came back out of it, and she was doing pretty good, and her oxygen was dropping, and then, oh, it got up a little bit again, oh, we're doing better. And then she had been sedated for like 2 weeks, like we hadn't seen her, 3, I think, like we hadn't seen her awake in like a couple weeks, and we like came in, and she's starting to wake up, and we're starting to see her, and she's playing, and that was really when we started to get to see, like, the bigger she got, the more personality she got, and like, she started laughing. Like, that was so great. Like, seeing her giggle was so crazy. And because of her trach, we couldn't hear her. We couldn't hear her laugh or cry or anything. But, like, and that's hard when, like, I hear parents complaining about their babies crying. And obviously, I know that one day, hopefully, I will be complaining about my baby crying. But I would have done anything to hear her cry and laugh and all of it. And breathe and yawn. She would yawn, and we'd make her giggle, and towards the end, she really, really started to, like, get her personality. I don't know. And from there, she crashed again. She was doing okay. She got to the point where we got to take her out of the room. We were like, okay, like, let's give her, she had her own little room, which wasn't normal in the NICU, but she had her own little room, and then we're like, okay, let's take her out, and she got one of those, like, big cribs, and we were starting to play with her a little bit more, and we'd watch movies, and we'd do what we could with her, and, like, interact with her as much as I could. I'd talk to her as much as I could. I would, like, look up, like, occupational therapy things I could do with her to help her in the future for when she was able to start talking, and for when she was able to use her mouth, and different stuff like that, and, like, her body, because, like, obviously she's not developing normally because she's sitting all day long and laying all day long. And so I just do as much as I could with her and with the situation that she was given. And at that time, started second semester of our junior year, I would go to class at 8, and I was living with Hunter's parents at the time because that's where we were going to live when she came home. I'd go to class at 8, leave at 9:30, go to the NICU, stay there. I didn't have class, I had online class Tuesday, and then I'd come back Tuesday, and then do it again Wednesday, to go to class. Dudley! Dudley! Come here! Dudley! 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 Duds! Yeah, he's fine. He just gets distracted. Okay, as long as he's sweet. He just gets excited. Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. Oh no, you're good. You're good. He just gets excited. He likes to be chased, and he's just a mess. And he doesn't listen to me half the time, but thanks. But then and then at the end of January, all of a sudden, they were like, I don't even remember what happened, but I remember in November, one of her nurses, we were talking about like February, and I was like, oh yeah, she was like, yeah, like, I hope she's home by February, like she should be, like she shouldn't still be here by February. And so I was like, oh, we're good, like, hell yeah, like she's coming home. And when I tell you there was truly never a doubt in my mind that she was coming home, is like, I mean that. Like, I always talk about now about my experience after, and people are always saying, well, you kind of knew, and I'm like, no, like I didn't. I really didn't. I really, really believed in my heart and every part of me that she was coming home, that she was going to come out of this. And Dudley, Duds, come here. And then February, she crashed again, and they called us and they were like, hey, we need y'all to come to the hospital. And we were like, okay, we're on our way. And we got there and they had a meeting with us. And we'd had this meeting once before, is the thing. We'd had this meeting before, and it was the meeting where they asked, like, we had to sign the paperwork of, like, what do you do when things get so bad? Because they did have a moment where things got so bad that, like, it's like, I forget what it's called. It's like the resuscitate or whatever. If you're in healthcare, you probably know what I'm talking about. But, like, there's paperwork that you have to sign that says what to do in this case of an emergency. Like, does the family want you to stop care, or does the family want you to attempt to resuscitate? And we had to sign that paperwork saying attempt to resuscitate back in November, I believe, or January, one of the two. And we were kind of having the same conversation again. And that's when I was, like, frustrated. I mean, at that point, like, we've had this conversation 3 times, like, she's gonna come out of it. Like, I was kind of over it. Like, I was like, okay, she's gonna be fine. And we had this conversation, and, like, I believed them. Like, they were saying, like, we think this is it for her. And I believed them. Like, I did, but at the same time, I was like, we've had this conversation so many times, like, is it true? And so, again, they let us stay in the hospital. And the day on February 10th, they woke us up that morning, and her heart rate was super low. I don't really remember exactly why, but her nurses came and got us, and we thought that was it that morning. My mom and my sister came the night before. Hunter's family, his parents and his sister, came that day. And that day we thought she was going to pass away that morning. But she ended up doing better. Like, me and Hunter were holding her all day, and her heart rate stabilized and got up, and she was breathing good. And, like, obviously part of me was like, I never cry I don't really ever cry. Part of me was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna come out of this. I remember part of me really thought, like, she's coming out, but, like, I knew, I was like, no. And the thing is, like, at the time I was pumping, and I just kept pumping. I was like, no, I'm gonna pump, because in my head, like, if I stopped, that was me giving up on her. But that night, my dad got there, and he got to see her and meet her for the first time. And then Hunter's parents my mom and my sister went home. And then the next morning, same thing happened. They came and got us. She was kind of not doing well. And that morning was very different from the one before, where it was a lot of conversations. And I don't really remember what it was that happened, like who it was that like was like, hey, I think this is happening today. But her nurse Myra that day, we love her. She was there for a lot of it, and she kind of just, we started to have the conversations with the doctors and the nurses and the nurse practitioner of like, okay, what do we do? And I think it was the conversations of like, how long do we keep letting her do this? And these conversations were like, we were doing this for like 3 hours, probably. We woke up at like 5:45, I think, or something like that, 6. I think earlier than that, like 5. And these conversations happened for probably 3 or 4 hours. Yeah. And with different people, with the nurses and the doctors, of like not only like the medical part of it, but like the deeper part of it of like us as parents and our hearts and our souls as Christians. And a lot of conversations of like, I was really not confused. I was really convicted around the fact that like how is this any different from an abortion? Like, I'm not God, I'm not a doctor. Like, if we decide to, there's no right way to say this, but if we decide to end it now, how is that any different from when I walked out of the Planned Parenthood? You know? And that was something I really struggled with, and something that one of her nurses said, Laura, actually, she said, because you gave her a chance at life, and the life that she will have now is so much better than any life she will have on earth. And we talked with the nurse practitioner, Alex, for a long, long time, and he was so knowledgeable, and he was so helpful, and he was like, we can try. He was like, we have, like, you guys can say, no, like, we're going to keep trying. And he walked us through what both could look like, what it would look like to keep trying again, and what it would look like to not. And I just kept thinking, like, how do I know which decision to make? And Hunter and I were like, what the fuck do we do? Like, what? Like, how are we supposed to make this decision? And in that moment, I heard God tell me, I'm not going to let you make the wrong decision. And at the time, Fly Me to the Moon, like, we had a playlist that we would, like, play her songs. And Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra was playing, and it was the part that said, fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. And I just, in my head, like, in my heart, that was Ella, in a way. Like, I was like, yeah. I never cry when I talk about this. I talk about this a lot, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional about it now, but like, I tell this story all the time. But I think right now I'm alone, and I'm not having to, like, hold it in for anyone. Usually I think I do. I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. And that was one of the most beautiful days of my life. I mean, for the next hour or two, we sat with her and we played her songs, and there was probably 30 nurses and doctors there, and there was doctors coming in on their day off, and there was nurses, her night nurse that had just driven home an hour as soon as she found out, she drove back, and nurses who were notified, like, hey, Ella Jane is going to pass. The nurses came, like, the ones that weren't there at work that day, the ones who were on their day off, and doctors and just janitors were sitting with us, like, because they just came to know her and love her. And that was truly one of the most, God was so present in that NICU that day. God was so present. And that's when that part of the story begins.